Okay, today is Tuesday, and we're going to start with a multi-step problem, and I showed you with step 1 and step 2. It says Andrew ran 45 and 67 miles over 3 days. The first day he ran 13 miles and 89 hundredths, and the second day he ran 22 and 167 thousandths miles. How many miles did he run on the third day? So the first thing that I notice is that they give me my total. My total amount's right here. So I know that at least one of my operations is going to make it smaller, so I know that subtraction or division makes it smaller. I know they ran 13 and 89 hundredths mile on the first day, and the second day he ran 22 and 167 thousandths miles. So when I see that we have two of the days and they have the word and, I know I'm going to add. And if I have the total amount and I'm trying to figure out a part, I know I'm going to subtract. I'm not putting anything into groups, so I'm not dividing. So first I'm going to add 13 and 89 hundredths plus 22 and 167 thousandths. Now with decimals, if they don't line up completely, you can always add a 0. So you can't take 7 from 0. Oh wait, we're adding. Whoopsie. 7 plus 0 is 7. 9 plus 6 is 15. 1 plus 8 is 9. Plus 1 more is 10. We're going to bring down our decimal point. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 is 6. 2 plus 1 is 3. So he's already ran 36 and 57 thousandths. And I know my total was 45 and 67 hundredths. So now I'm going to subtract. Again, I can put my 0 there. So I can't take 7 from 0, so that becomes a 6 to give me a 10. So 10 minus 7 is 3. 6 minus 5 is 1. 6 minus 0 is 0. I'm bringing down my decimal point. I can't take 6 from 5, so I'm going to make that a 3 and add it a 10. 15 minus 6 is 9. 3 minus 3 is 0. So he has 9 and 613 thousandths miles left to run on day 3. Okay, again, it says put in order from least to greatest. So I can see that I have some decimals and fractions, and what's easiest for me is I know how to make my fractions into decimals. So I'm going to take my 2 fractions and I'm going to turn them into decimals. Again, 3/4, I like to think of them as quarters. You can break $1 into 4 quarters, and I can tell that I have 3 parts of it. So what are 3/4 worth? 75 cents or 75 hundredths. And then this one says 3/10, and it's literally telling me my first decimal place after the decimal is the 10th place. So I put a 3 there. Now I can line up my decimals and help me figure out which one is the biggest and take it to the smallest. Another good thing to do here is to put the fraction next to the decimal, because when you write it down, you're going to want to write that fraction down and not the decimal. So my biggest, I have zeros, they're all the same. I'm looking for the largest number. So out of 5, 7, and 3, 7's my largest number, so I have 2 7s. So I'm going to look next door. One's a 5 and one's a 2. So 75 hundredths is the largest, so that's actually my fraction of 3/4. Work it out. My next one is my other 7, which is 72 hundredths. I'm looking for the next largest. Between 5 and 3 would be 5. So I have 5/10, which is also commonly known as 1/2. And then I have 3/10, but again, I want to write my fraction down since it was given to me as a fraction. And we're done. Okay, the last one for today is a division problem, and it is 68 and 234 thousandths divided by 4. Now I'm going to do the same thing that I always do when I have a division problem. I'm going to write out my multiple of the divisor, which is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. And then I'm going to write out my steps. Division, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. And the only thing that's different when we're dealing with a decimal is you just bring that decimal point up. So, can 4 divide into 6? Yes, it can. How many times can it go? 1. 4 times 1 is 4. And now I'm going to subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. My next step is to bring down 8. So how many times can 4 go into 28? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's right on 28. 7. So that's 7 times. 4 times 7 is 28. My next step is to subtract. I get a 0. Now I bring down my next number. Can 4 divide into 2? No. So when your number can't divide in, you're going to put a 0, because 4 times 0 equals 0. So now I need to bring down my next number, which is a 3. So how many times can 4 go into 23? 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's too big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. Multiply. 4 times 5 is 20. Now I'm going to subtract. 3 minus 0 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. Now I have to bring down my last number, which is a 4. How many times can 4 go into 34? So I'm going to see until I find one. That's too big, so I'm going to go back here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 times 8 is 32. 34 minus 32 is 2. So my answer is 17 and 58 thousandths remainder 2.